Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we are breaking down one of the most potent, widely discussed and heavily researched compounds in the entire world of chemical enhancement. We're not skipping details or giving you a generic overview. We're doing a complete scientific analysis of Testolone, far better known as RAD-140. Whether you're trying to understand the exact molecular pathways behind modern chemistry, or you want to know how this specific compound compares to traditional anabolic options, this guide will give you the hard data. Let's look past the forum hype and look straight at the actual clinical evidence. To understand what we are dealing with here, we need to clarify what Testolone actually is. RAD-140 belongs to a class of compounds known as Selective Androgen Receptor Modulators, commonly abbreviated as SARMs. It was originally engineered by a pharmaceutical company called Radius Health. The primary goal was to create a compound that could successfully treat severe muscle wasting conditions known as cachexia, as well as osteoporosis in aging populations. Traditional options like testosterone injections or oral methyltestosterone are highly effective at building tissue, but they come with severe androgenic drawbacks. They cause significant prostate enlargement, accelerate male pattern baldness, and disrupt lipid profiles. RAD-140 was designed to provide the exact same anabolic tissue growth in a skeletal muscle while leaving the prostate and other secondary sex organs virtually untouched. To truly comprehend how testosterone works, we must deep dive into cellular biology and look at the interaction inside the cytoplasm of your muscle cells. The androgen receptor ligand binding domain undergoes a highly specific conformational change when it encounters nonsteroidal molecules. Unlike traditional steroids, which are a configuration of 4 fused carbon rings, RAD-140 has a unique nonsteroidal chemical structure. It poses a remarkably tight binding affinity with an equilibrium dissociation constant, or key value, of 7 nanomolar. This outperforms the native affinity of free testosterone, which typically sits around 29 nanomolar in identical assays. When it binds to this receptor, it causes the receptor to shed its heat shock proteins and translocate directly into the nucleus. Once inside, it interacts selectively with androgen receptor elements, or AREs, on the DNA strand. The selective interaction triggers the transcription of specific genes that govern myofibrillar protein synthesis, forcing the body to build dense new muscle tissue. This concept is heavily entangled with anabolic androgenic ratios. In traditional sport endocrinology, testosterone is benchmark, holding a balanced ratio of 100 to 100. Preclinical models show that RAD-140 has an anabolic androgenic ratio of roughly 90 to 1. This means it delivers almost all of its punch delivery to lean tissue development while causing minimal stimulation of androgenic target organs. The downstream physical changes caused by this genetic signaling are profound for athletes and bodybuilders. The primary benefit is a rapid, dramatic acceleration in lean muscle mass accumulation. Because it forces a positive nitrogen balance, your muscle cells retain significantly more amino acids and recover at a highly accelerated rate. Let's look closely at the quantitative data. In the foundational preclinical research published in ACS Medical Chemistry Letters, primates were given a daily oral dose of just 0.1 milligram per kilogram of body weight over a period of 28 days, 4 weeks. Even at this exceptionally low dose, the subject experienced a highly significant increase of over 10% in total lean body mass. The weight was clean, dry muscle tissue, completely devoid of fat accumulation or excess fluid retention. Beyond pure hypertrophy, it dramatically increases cellular glycogen storage and intramuscular water retention. It doesn't cause subcutaneous water retention under the skin because it can't convert into estrogen. It creates a highly specific cosmetic effect in athletes known as the dry, hard look. Your muscle appear constantly full and pumped, even while in caloric deficit. Furthermore, it significantly enhances structural bone mineral density, protecting your skeletal framework from immense stress of handling heavier mechanical loads during intense training phases. Despite the targeted nature of selective modulators, we must completely strip away the myth that RAD-140 is side effect free. It's a highly powerful compound, and it exerts major physiological strain on human body that you must understand. The most severe side effect is the profound dose-dependent suppression of your natural endogenous testosterone production. When it saturates the androgen receptor in the brain, the hypothalamus detects this massive androgenic activity. It mimics this signal for an excess of testosterone and subsequently shuts down the release of gonadotropin-releasing hormone. This holds the pituitary gland from secreting luteinizing hormone, or LH, and follicular-stimulating hormone, known as FSH. Without LH and FSH, the Leydig cell in the testes completely stop manufacturing your natural testosterone. This brings us to a major point of confusion that we need to untangle: the critical difference between suppression and shutdown. Many online forums claim that SARMs only cause mild suppression, whereas real steroids cause a complete shutdown. This is dangerously inaccurate. At a standard athletic dose, RAD-140 will routinely crush a user's free and total testosterone levels by over 70 to 80% within the first 4 weeks. This can include severe symptoms of hypogonadism, including low libido, chronic fatigue, brain fog, and emotional instability. The second major concern is distinct cardiovascular and hepatic strain. Clinical toxicology reports consistently show that oral SARM administration causes acute reduction in high-density lipoprotein, or HDL cholesterol. Your good HDL cholesterol can easily drop into single digits, while your bad low-density lipoprotein, or LDH, surges. This creates a highly atherogenic blood profile, increasing arterial plaque risk. Simultaneously, because RAD-140 is orally active, it must pass through the portal vein, causing hepatic enzyme elevation. Serum markers like alanine aminotransferase, known as ALT, and aspartate aminotransferase, or AST, routinely spike. These factors indicating acute liver stress. To manage these risks, understanding the true pharmacokinetics of the compound is absolutely mandatory. For years, popular fitness law claimed that RAD-140 has a short half-life of 16 to 24 hours, leading users to take it every single morning. However, modern human clinical trials have completely corrected this misinformation. The actual elimination half-life of single dose in human subject is roughly 60 hours. This means the compound remains active in your system for much longer than a single day. If you take it every 24 hours, the compound will steadily accumulate in your bloodstream, climbing to plasma concentration nearly 3 times higher than your intended daily dose by week 3. Because of this extended half-life, conservative athletic dosing protocol typically range from 5 to 10 milligrams for men per day. Pushing past 15 to 20 milligram dose doesn't result linear muscle gains. Instead, it reaches a point of diminishing return where muscle growth plateaus and severe liver and lipid toxicity skyrockets. Due to the cumulative cardiovascular and hepatic strain, cycle lengths must be strictly time limited. A standard cycle should never exceed 6 to 8 weeks. Running a compound for 10 to 12 weeks exposes your cardiovascular system to dangerously low HDL levels for far too long and places your liver under unnecessary chronic stress. When an athlete runs a well-designed disciplined 8-week cycle at 10 mg per day, the physical transformation follows a very predictable timeline. During the first 2 weeks, you will not see massive shift in scale weight, but your strength will surge. This is due to enhanced neuromuscular efficiency and increased glycogen retention inside the muscle cells. By weeks 3 and 4, as plasma concentration reach peak saturation, lean tissue accumulation accelerates. Users frequently report adding 4 to 6 pounds of dry, lean mass during this middle phase. Your recovery between sets drops drastically, allowing you to handle significantly higher training volume. By the end of 8-week cycle, total lean mass gains can range from 6 to 8 pounds provided your nutrition is dialed into a clean caloric surplus. Because RAD-140 doesn't aromatize into estrogen, none of this weight is artificial water bloating. It's pure usable muscle structure. However, by week 8, you will also encounter the reality of suppression. Training motivation may begin to dip, and physical lethargy often sets in, highlighting the absolute necessity of transition protocols. Every compound has one specific trait that sets it apart from everything else in the textbook. For RAD-140, the unique characteristics is its profound, verified neuroprotective properties. Most traditional anabolic steroids are inherently neurotoxic. They accelerate neuronal cell death and increase brain oxidative stress when abused. RAD-140 exhibits a completely unique behavior by actively protecting the delicate cellular architecture of the brain. In preclinical neurological models, researchers exposed brain cells to severe biochemical insults, including amyloid beta peptides, which are the primary destructive protein responsible for Alzheimer's disease. The data showed that RAD-140 was just as effective as native testosterone at completely attenuating apoptosis, which is programmed cell death, in hippocampus. It accomplished this by selectively activating a specific androgen-dependent survival pathways, meaning it can safeguard your cognitive function while simultaneously building muscle tissue. In advanced design, combining compounds should never be a guessing game. You must stack substances that use completely separate pathways to maximize synergy without doubling down on the exact same side effects. Because RAD-140 is highly suppressive and exhibits moderate liver toxicity, stacking it with another oral SARM or steroid like Ligandrol or Dianabol is a terrible protocol. Doing so completely overloads your hepatic capacity and crushes your HDL cholesterol into oblivion without providing any real synergistic tissue growth. Instead, if someone is running a tested advanced protocol RAD-140 is strictly paired with a non-hormonal, non-liver toxic pathway amplifier. A primary example is a stacking it with Cardarine, known as GW501516. Cardarine is a PPAR delta receptor agonist, completely independent of androgen receptor. Cardarine works by rapidly shifting your body's energy preference from glucose to fatty acids, significantly enhancing cellular endurance and running capacity. More importantly, Cardarine actively improves your lipid profile, helping to buffer and counteract the harsh drop in HDL cholesterol caused by RAD-140. Another viable stack includes Ibutamoren, known as MK677. It's a non-peptide ghrelin receptor agonist that forces your pituitary gland to secrete pulses of growth hormone, raising systemic insulin-like growth factor, which stimulates deep joint recovery, improve sleep quality, and increase appetite, perfectly balancing the dry, intense, strength-building properties of RAD-140 molecule. Given its clinical profile, Testolone is absolutely not a beginner compound, nor is a universal tool for everyone. Is suitable strictly for experienced adult male athletes who have already maximized their natural genetic potential. Throughout years of disciplined nutrition and training, these individuals must fully understand how to read blood work, manage lipid strain, and execute a comprehensive post-cycle therapy protocol. It's completely unsuitable for teenager or anyone under the age of 21 because your endocrine system is still developing. Introducing a compound as suppressive as RAD-140 can permanently damage your natural testosterone production capacity, locking you into hypergonadism for life. Furthermore, it's highly unsuitable for women due to its immense potency and highly binding affinity, which carries a severe risk of virilization, including permanent vocal deepening and irreversible hormonal disruption. And the most important matter, this is a critical warning regarding where this chemical actually comes from, because SARMs were not fully approved for human consumption by the FDA. They can't be legally sold as dietary supplements. They exist in a gray market, sold online under the label of research chemicals or for laboratory research use only. This complete lack of regulatory oversight means the black market purity of these products is notoriously compromised. Third-party chemical testing laboratories routinely analyze bottles sold online as pure RAD-140, only to find alarming discrepancies. Over 60% of the tasted products do not even match the chemical label on the front of the bottle. Many companies fill the liquid or capsules with cheap, highly toxic oral anabolic steroids such as methandrostenolone or superdrol. They do this because raw steroid powders are dead cheap and they will cause rapid weight gain, tricking the buyer into thinking the product is working while causing massive, unexpected organ toxicity. We must look closely at the stark legal reality surrounding Testolone. You need to know exactly where you stand with the law before you even thinking about this compound. The World Anti-Doping Agency, universally known as WADA, has classified RAD-140 as a strictly prohibited substance at all times. It sits under Section S1.2 of the WADA prohibited list, categorized alongside other highly banned anabolic agents. If you are a competitive athlete in any tested powerlifting, bodybuilding, or collegiate sport, testing positive for this molecule carries an automatic multi-year professional ban. The metabolites of RAD-140 are highly fat-soluble, meaning modern anti-doping laboratories using advanced gas chromatography mass spectrometry can easily detect them in your urine for several months after your very first dose. From a federal standpoint, laws vary widely across the globe. In countries like Australia, SARMs are strictly classified as Schedule 4 prescription-only substances, making possession without a licensed medical doctor's script completely illegal. In the United States, they remain unscheduled under federal law, but are completely illegal to market or sell as dietary supplements for human use. To wrap up everything, RAD-140 is a masterpiece of modern chemical engineering that successfully demonstrates the power of tissue selectivity. By binding with extreme affinity to your androgen receptor, it forces your skeletal muscle cell to execute massive protein synthesis, providing dry, dense tissue growth and immense strength gain without directly triggering prostate hypertrophy. However, it's not a magic shortcut. It comes with a heavy physiological cost, including severe natural testosterone suppression, danger, lipid shift, and acute liver strain. It requires maximum respect, deep medical understanding, and meticulous cycle management. If this comprehensive scientific breakdown helped you understand the real data behind chemical enhancement, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment below. Keep your protocols backed by hard science. Monitor your blood work, and I'll see you in the next video.